electronic meeting live stream. First I'll go through roll call. We're all present, but Councillor Dowie, and I believe he's scheduled to join in at a little bit later. He's called out on another meeting. So as I call the meeting to order, members, any disclosure of pecuniary interest on the agenda as presented here this evening, this afternoon? Hearing none, then the introduction and the purpose of our meeting is to hear the proposed zoning bylaw amendment application to rezone 2.4 acres or 1 hectare of property situated on the south side of North Talbot Road, approximately 40 meters, 130 feet east of the intersection with Hennon Drive at 3455 North Talbot Road, from industrial zone M1 to a site-specific business park zone, in order to permit the addition of general business offices, professional offices, union hall, restaurants, craft industries, especially workshops and retail sales as permitted uses. In addition, the proposed site-specific business park zone will establish site-specific yard and lot requirements in the subject property's designated business park in the Sandwich South official plan. And I'd like to call upon Mr. Jeffries to if there's anything else that you want to add to the meeting today, our manager of planning.
Certainly. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And before I get started, I just want to note that the proponent and landowner, Mr. Franz Dalabona, is on the Zoom meeting with us tonight in the event that you have any questions for him. The subject 1 hectare property, as you can see on this image, is located on the south side of North Talbot Road. It's immediately west of the Chicharro Club parking lot. The area surrounding the subject property is predominantly industrial with the exception of the Chicharro Club lands. Attachment 2, please, Sean. So this is a concept plan of the proposal. It shows the existing building, which many of you will know as the former municipal office of the Township of Sandwich South. To this existing building, Mr. Dalabona is proposing to add roughly 21,035 square feet of building to create a total floor area of around 25,000 square feet. And these buildings will be divided into multiple units. And if this rezoning passes, those units will permit a limited range of commercial uses that will serve the industrial uses in Oldcastle, along with the broader Oldcastle community. The specific uses that Mr. Dalabona is asking for through this rezoning, and it's a rezoning from an industrial M1 to a site-specific business park zone, are offices, a union hall, restaurants, craft industries, and specialty workshops, and retail stores. The proposed zoning is also going to establish site-specific lot and building requirements that would apply to the subject land. The next slide, please, Sean. So in considering the appropriateness of a rezoning, council must have regard to the provincial policy statement, the county official plan, and the local official plan, which is the Sandwich South official plan in this case. In terms of the policies within the provincial policy statement, this proposal is in conformity with those. It's creating a more efficient use of the subject property, and it's developing a more diversified economic base within the Oldcastle Business Park. The county official plan has some broad policy pertaining to this site. It simply establishes that this is a settlement area and that we should direct all urban uses into settlement areas. So it's in conformity with the county official plan. And then the Sandwich South official plan designates the property, as you can see here on this map, business park. The business park policies provide for a range of light industrial uses, but also allow for ancillary commercial uses that serve the industrial area, which is exactly what Mr. Dalabona is proposing to do. When considering a zoning bylaw amendment, the Sandwich South official plan sets out that there are 4 criteria to be satisfied, those being the physical suitability of the property, the adequacy of the services, the road system, ability to handle increased traffic, and the compatibility of the proposed use with surrounding uses. And in all respects, this proposal meets those criteria. With respect to the adequacy of services, I just want to point out that the property has capacity, has sanitary capacity, water capacity. The stormwater management is going to be a critical component of this development, however, as it's part of the Upper Little River watershed, and there are some restrictive measures on that watershed. So through the corresponding site plan control agreement, which we're recommending council pass a bylaw once this bylaw gets passed, making it subject to site plan control. And through that site plan control agreement, we can ensure that the proper stormwater management measures are put in place. So having said that, Mr. Mayor and members of council, we believe that this proposal meets the relevant policy context. It has full municipal services, and we believe it's a good fit for this location. It's compatible with its surrounding area. Tonight, we're here to see if there's any concerns or comments from interested stakeholders. And my understanding is that there was one bit of correspondence submitted that was in favor of the proposal, and that there are no others that have registered for this public meeting. So it appears as though this proposal is satisfactory to the people who have received this notice. With that, Mr. Mayor, I make myself available for any questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jeffries. And to the members before, any questions or certainly comments on the report as presented to you? No question? Councilor Jobin.
Certainly, through Mr. Mayor to Mr. Delabona. As we have gone live, just like to reiterate the same question. Do you have any current tenants interested in the area or interested in the site that you have committed to?
Yes, we have the like a union hall going into 4,500 square feet, and we're looking to secure a like prosthetics 3D printing shop there.
Very good. Thank you.
10,000 feet.
Okay. Thank you.
No further, if there's no further comments, I just want to add to Mr. Delabona. I think this is a great project and it helps to diversify some of the business within that community. And I certainly want to commend you for actually repurposing, the old building, the old Sandwich South building, and adding to complement the servicing of that particular region, which I think is, as our manager of planning alluded to, I think fits very nicely within that area. So if there's no further questions or comments at this stage, then a couple of things. We do have some communications that we need to deal with, members of council. We got 3 pieces of communication. We could have a motion to receive the report. Deputy Mayor McKetty, Councillor Tonio. And all in favor? Was if any? That is carried. And there is the report before you, members of council, which is the zoning bylaw amendment of 3435 North Talbot Road, so that the report zoning bylaw amendment at 3455 North Talbot Road be received as presented. Councillor Dowie, Councillor Houston. Any questions or comments on the report? All in favor? Oppose if any? That is carried. So if there's no further questions or comments at this stage here, the only one is to Mr. Jeffries that I would have is just now the site plan, I think is, what's the next steps just for those who are viewing?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The next step will be to bring a draft zoning bylaw amendment to council for its consideration. And at that time, we'll have also have a draft site plan control bylaw, deeming it subject to that property subject to site plan control because it's currently not subject to site plan control by bylaw. So we'll bring that bylaw with the zoning bylaw amendment at the next council meeting.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So if there's no further business, then adjournment is in order. Councillor Altenhoff and Councillor Tonio. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Mr.
Thank you,
Delabona.
everybody. Thanks very much.
This concludes our 5:30 meeting.